Welcome to my channel Deep Learning Biology. My name is Dr. Vikas Bhardwaj. Now in this video we are going to discuss about typhoid fever. So through this video you are going to learn some basic points related to typhoid fever. Now before starting the video, I just want to tell you about a real story. And let us go back in the year 1906-1907. In the year 1906, one lady, Mary Mallon, she was actually born in Ireland. From Ireland, she migrated to New York. Now, within the New York, she started working like a domestic cook. And as a domestic cook, her service was to serve food, to cook food, and she used to work in wealthy families. So Mary Mallon, she migrated from Ireland to New York, and in New York she started working as a domestic cook, and generally she used to work in wealthy families. Now there was one family. In that family there were 11 members. Out of the 11 members of a single family, 6 members, they got typhoid fever, a serious situation. Yes, investigation started. Doctors, scientists, they started the investigation. What scientists, they conclude that Mary Mallon, she previously also worked in 8 families, and what they found that 7 members of these 8 families, they were also suffered from the typhoid fever. Yes, 22 individuals, they showed the symptoms of typhoid, and few individuals, they died due to typhoid. So scientists, they were having a speculation that Mary Mallon might be responsible for transmission of the disease, the typhoid fever. Now here I just want to tell you, in the same year in the New York City, there was epidemic of typhoid fever. Approximately 3,000 individuals, they got suffered from typhoid fever. Hopefully you know what is epidemic. Generally, epidemic is a disease which is going to be prevalent in a particular area. So in the same year in the New York City, you see approximately 3,000 individuals, they were being diagnosed with typhoid fever. Now here I just want to tell you that Mary Mallon, she was actually asymptomatic carrier for the disease typhoid fever. So Mary Mallon was being quarantined in a small cottage, and the court gave the instruction that she must not work like a domestic cook. She was being quarantined in a cottage, and there her stool samples, they were being checked, and here if you see the data, 120 of stool samples of her out of 163 total, they stood positive. So Mary Mallon stool samples, they were being checked, and you see here 120 out of 163 stool samples, they were positive. Now she got the treatment, but not the complete treatment. Try to see here, Mary Mallon was asymptomatic carrier of the disease. She was not showing the symptoms of the disease, but she was harboring the bacteria in her body, and that bacteria she was passing to others. So yes, she got the treatment, but she did not completely recover from the bacteria. She remained as asymptomatic carrier. Now try to see here. Here if you see, see, after few years, okay, somehow this lady, okay, she escaped and she again started working in a maternity hospital. In the maternity hospital, okay, 25 people, they got suffered from typhoid fever. Here also include doctors, nurse, scientists, or sorry, staff members, okay, doctors, nurse, staff members, all, okay, they were being diagnosed with typhoid fever. Okay, now try to see here, okay, yes, few of the individuals, they died, and here if you see that this lady, okay, Mary Mallon, okay, she was held responsible for that outbreak. Okay, try to see here, lady Mary Mallon, okay, I have told you, she was asymptomatic carrier for the disease typhoid. And now today this lady Mary Mallon is also known as Typhoid Mary. So hopefully it is clear, the story is clear to you. Okay, now try to see here how one lady was being held responsible for an epidemic, for transmission of disease to others. Okay, now all the points will be clear to you. Here I just want to tell you that lady Mary Mallon was asymptomatic carrier. Okay, she was transmitting the disease to others. Yes, herself she was not showing any symptoms. So sometimes there are cases in the individual himself or herself, they are not showing any symptoms, but they are going to act like a carrier. Okay, they are working like a host for the bacteria, and these bacteria, they are not going to harm the carrier, but these carrier now will transmit the bacteria to others. So here I just want to tell you that the typhoid disease, it happens due to food poisoning by a bacteria. Name of the bacteria is Salmonella Typhi. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about typhoid fever. Now here, hopefully you see in the picture, you can see the news articles related to Typhoid Mary. Now here, if you see the case of typhoid fever, remember that typhoid fever is also known as enteric fever. Typhoid fever is also known as enteric fever. Here enteric related to intestine. Remember, 11 to 21 million people all over the world, 11 to 21 million people all over the world, every year they got suffered from typhoid fever. Every year you are going to see people are going to suffer from typhoid fever. And yes, typhoid fever is present in both developing as well as in developed countries. So here you see this bacteria is prevalent all over the world, and here if you see that out of 11 to 21 million people, 1,10,000 people, they are going to die just because of typhoid fever or enteric fever. Yes, most of the times this fever, our body is going to fight against this fever, and most of the times people, they also get recovered. But here now we are having antibiotics treatments, okay, that is going to help people to fight this disease. But in some cases the body, okay, if it is unable to fight the bacteria, and if there is severe food poisoning, okay, yes, there can be death. So here you can see, due to typhoid fever, approximately 1,10,000 people, they die every year. So this is a serious concern. Now here, if you see the case of typhoid fever, now here keep in mind that typhoid fever, it is due to a bacteria. Name of the bacteria is Salmonella Typhi. Salmonella Typhi. And keep in mind, this bacteria, is rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria. Rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria. And here, if you see this bacteria, it is being transmitted from one person to another person, and generally the transmission of this bacteria, it happens by fecal oral route. Fecal oral route. Okay, so here I will make you clear. Okay, so here if the food is contaminated, okay, the food is contaminated with this bacteria, so it is going to make entry in our body, okay, and it is going to infect. So here you can see the picture of this. Now let us try to understand how this bacteria is actually being transmitted. Try to see here. Here, let's suppose there is one infected individual who is suffering from the disease typhoid. Okay. Now, in the individual who is suffering from the disease typhoid, within their body, okay, you are going to have this bacteria. Generally, these bacteria, they multiply within the intestine and they are being passed out through feces, okay, from that individual. So within the infected human being, what you are going to see, the presence of bacteria Salmonella Typhi within the intestine. Okay, now through feces, okay, this bacteria will be released. The infected human being, they are going to release this bacteria. And let's suppose if the individual who is infected, they are not going to clean their hands properly. If they are not going to clean their hands properly, so what will happen? If they are going to touch anything, they can contaminate the food and the drinks. So if someone who is healthy, if they are going to eat this contaminated food, or if they are going to drink this contaminated drinks, okay, now the bacteria will make entry in the body of the healthy person. So hopefully it is clear how from one infected individual to healthy person, this bacteria can be transmitted. So this bacteria, generally it is going to make entry through oral way. Okay, so this is fecal oral route. Hopefully every point is clear to you. Now try to see here. Within the healthy individual, if this bacteria is going to make entry, okay, so this bacteria Salmonella Typhi, it is responsible for causing food poisoning. If someone is going to eat, okay, the poisoned food means the food in which the bacteria is growing, the bacteria will make entry, okay, and generally you know very well when we are going to eat food, okay, so here within the stomach we are going to have acid, okay, they are going to neutralize most of the bacteria, they are going to kill most of the bacteria, but some of the bacteria, they are going to survive. And yes, we are going to have immune system, our system is going to fight with the bacteria, but these bacteria, some of the bacteria, they will survive and they will colonize the intestine. And when they are successful in colonizing the intestine, what they will do, they will start destroying cells of intestine. They will start destroying cells of intestine. Now here you can see in the picture, these bacteria, they have colonized within the intestine and now they have started destroying cells of the intestine. Now here in this situation, the intestine will not be able to absorb water. For the intestine, it will be hard to absorb water. So in this situation, what is going to happen? Diarrhea will start. So one thing is this, that you are going to see the symptoms of diarrhea. Yes, here I have told you, these bacteria, they have destroyed the cells of the intestine, and yes, they are going to make entry within the blood. And when you are going to have bacteria within the blood, yes, your body is going to respond, your immune system is going to respond, and here one of the way your body is going to respond, it will increase its temperature. You are going to see the symptom of fever. Okay, now try to see here, having fever is a protective mechanism. Our body will raise the temperature. At higher temperature, these bacteria, they will be unable to survive within the human body. This way our body want to fight back. Okay, so yes, the healthy person body will start fighting. So here what you are going to see, you are going to see symptoms of diarrhea, you are going to see symptoms of fever. Okay, so in individuals who are going to have typhoid fever, what symptoms generally you are going to see? Diarrhea, fever, stomach pain, nausea, headache. Yes, here you are also going to see in individuals rose rash, okay, rose spot rashes on the chest and the stomach. So hopefully you got the idea how this disease is going to progress. Now here, if you see, the diagnosis of typhoid fever is quite simple nowadays. Okay, the individual who are going to have, okay, the doctors, they are going to prescribe someone some kind of test. Generally the lab test involved the testing of blood sample, testing of stool samples. Okay, and in the laboratory, what the technician, they are going to see whether the bacteria is present within the blood or in the stool. Okay, so when they are confirmed this bacteria is there, okay, then they can confirm that the individual is suffering from typhoid fever. Okay, so hopefully this point is also clear to you. Now here I just want to tell you, if you see here that treatment, hopefully you remember I have told you our body has the capacity to fight against these bacteria, but due to the development of antibiotics, okay, yes, we can easily treat anyone. Okay, and generally the drugs which are being used are ciprofloxacin, azithromycin, other drugs also are available, and which can help any individual to fight against the disease. But remember, in some of the cases, what we are going to see, the cases of drug resistance, that is also a problem. Okay, another, in some of the cases, if the individuals, they are not going to take antibiotics at the right time, okay, then the situation can be fatal. Okay, so hopefully remember, every year 110,000 individuals, okay, they die just due to typhoid fever. Okay, so hopefully this point is also clear to you. Now let us discuss the precaution. What precaution anyone should take, okay, we should take if we have to protect our body against this typhoid fever. The first important thing is that always wash your hands before taking any meal. Okay, just wash your hands. Okay, so when you are going to wash, okay, if you are going to use detergent, if you are going to wash your hand properly, so if by chance the bacteria, if you have touched the contaminated food, okay, if you have touched any contaminated surface, okay, these bacteria, they will not enter in your body. Okay, so here you have to wash your hands properly. Next, eat healthy foods, eat healthy cooked foods. Sometimes individuals, they are going to eat the food which is not just cooked. Okay, so when you are going to have food, try to see when the temperature of the food it lower down, the bacteria, they will start multiplying. If there is some food, okay, and which this bacteria has grown, okay, and if that food is not having proper temperature, then the food poisoning will occur. And here you must eat healthy cooked food. Hopefully you know that this will raise the temperature of the food and this will kill the bacteria. Okay, so eat healthy cooked food. And third, don't drink unpasteurized milk. Unpasteurized milk can also have this bacteria. Okay, so when you are going to pasteurize the milk, when you are going to raise the temperature of the milk to a particular temperature, it is going to kill bacteria. So never drink unpasteurized milk. And last important thing, if you are planning to travel to any area where the individuals, most of the cases of typhoid fever are present, in that situation you must take the precaution, get vaccinated yourself. So these are some of the precautions. So hopefully through this video you have learned clearly about typhoid fever. Thank you for watching this. Please do like, share the video and subscribe to my channel Deep Learning Biology. Keep learning, keep watching Deep Learning Biology. Bye bye.